I can't believe this is happening. You spent so long out here making these calculations. I can't believe they've all gone wrong now. This just isn't fair. To make matters worse, we're actually going down in the storm to fix things. It shouldn't be how we do this. We should wait. This isn't safe. I honestly find myself not caring too much about all this now. I know this is important work. I've been doing it for cycles. But I don't want to risk my life for it. That isn't why I came out into space. I wanted to see what was out here. I didn't want to see things like this. This planet, storms, there's something wrong. There's nothing I can do. I need to do as I'm told. I pray the deckhand keeps us safe. This is Red Moon role-playing.
Layla,
Honestly,
ready the shuttle.
I find a pen and I start twirling it nervously.
Ready the shuttle.
Ah,
Alam, bring all the spare parts you have. Yorick, all the equipment. Yes. We have to go down there.
I start going because I can't really defy an order in this case. I do start muttering, of course, die down there. That would be great for the...
I start going towards the airlock and through the shuttle, bringing the pen along with me. Get into the shuttle and I start turning it on, flipping the switches, put the pen in my mouth and chew on that for a bit as I...
Yeah, reactors are kind of getting activated, everything, all the systems start booting up. The last thing you saw before everything kind of died down is one of the weather stations in quadrant 1. And you just saw the spikes on those hurricane winds and the discharges and all that, and you're just thinking like, the shuttle should be able to take it. I mean, I've been through quite a few bad runs before, but yeah.
Yeah, this is not... I'm not keen to get down there. I hail the lab. Alright, we're getting started. Anyone want to come with me?
I've already entered the shuttle, hauling along the various tools I'm going to need. I have my survival mask necessary, my biomonitor advanced tools as well, and I brought my cutting torch because I'm definitely going to need that. And I come in and I just say, it's fine, Layla, it's standard, we've done it 100 times, you land, I go fix, we go back up, wonderful, it'll be fine.
Everyone is kind of scrambling to get their stuff in, you're all getting into the shuttle, through the airlock. You go through the startup sequence. Harish is loading the exos, so you all have different kind of clothes for atmospheric work. All of that is kind of loaded into the shuttle. You all get ready. You sit down. Essentially there is Layla, you are in the cockpit. There can be one sensor operator also present there. The rest of the crew is sitting down in the main bay with all the gear, essentially. Both of you, when you kind of look out as the shuttle disconnects from the airlock. Faisal has sent a message to the main command and to Jarouma. That's like, there's no worries, we have to do manual fixes on some of the systems. We're going down, but we have everything under control. The ship drops from the airlock, goes into an approach vector to the planet. And both of you, looking out through the window towards Xene's surface, you feel a sense of this dread, this lump of dread kind of growing inside of you. And you both get to roll a wits roll each. I want to see if you cope.
1-6. I taking a deep breath.
You both
I
got a
just
6.
secure my survival mask. I think I get ready, or I'll need it. And I just focus.
You both actually feel pretty calm about it. Like there is anxiety, but I mean, you manage to keep it. Yeah, you manage to keep your head cool.
I feel the pen crack in my mouth as I bit down a little bit on it.
Some ink kind of.
And I throw it on the floor. And then I just look at Alam on the side of me and I say, "Can keep your eye on the radar.
Sure.
Just make sure we get some sort of landing in here.
Yes, I know what to do. You know what to do. Standard run, Layla.
You start the vector. Layla, you're in charge of the landing. You have two choices here. There's quadrant 3 and the quadrant 2 one. And the quadrant 3 is what seems to be like a software failure. And then there's quadrant 2, which seems like something horribly went wrong, hardware-wise. Which one do you want to approach?
I feel it's going to have to be quadrant 2. We need to actually assess the damage. If we can do that, then the other one, I'm pretty sure it's just a system failure or a system problem. So,
yeah, not so keen about this, but the other one, you were able to reboot it before, weren't you?
yes.
Yeah, if we just keep our eyes on that, maybe it'll come back by itself once we're done with the other one. Yeah?
Yes, hopefully, of course. Wonderful.
You have the shuttle drop down into the entry pattern. Shuttle is it's the one you've been flying, Layla, for most of your time here, actually. It's a small kind of personnel and freighter kind of shuttle. You can get minor things down there. It's called SAN 3, small atmospheric shuttle. And you can carry about like 5 metric tons of cargo. And you probably have about 3 or so kind of pushed into the hold at the moment. So the descent, you head down towards this fierce yellow bowl, this gas giant of kind of dread and doom in front of you. And you see the storm clouds and the lightning storms just kind of ripping across the surface of the gas giant. You will need some help to calculate the entry, so that's what the sensor operator can do.
How can I assist with that then?
Data gin roll.
How's it look, Alan? Do we have any clear path down?
Hang on, don't interrupt. Let me do my job. I'm fine, I've got it. Just give me a minute.
I'm trying to sort of slow it down so that she will get time.
2 6s.
That's nice. That will mean you'll get 2 additional dice to your roll. You will get 3 because you're also kind of helping out normally. So 3 in total.
Layla. Look, here.
You seem to have a path. It looks quite good, actually.
Yeah, here you go. I'll share the data with you now. That's good to go now.
I see it. Okay, I'm coming down.
Yes, right through this area.
Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna roll for pilot then. There's 2 6s there.
That's pretty good. You know, if you would get 3, that would probably be an excellent landing.
And I do pray to the traveler.
And that means no. You don't get bonus for traveler, right? You prayed to someone else before.
No, that was traveler. Plus 2 survival and culture, though, it says.
Yeah, let's just give you this. This is pilot, and you're going. Yeah, you should have the bonus, I think. You just add 2 more dice. Yay! This is really good. Yes.
So 6 6s.
This is one of the best landings you've ever done. At least on this planet.
Yeah.
And I mean, that says a lot, since this is also the fiercest storm you've ever traveled through. But there is something from that plotted entry point, because when you head down into the atmosphere, you just see these kind of storm clouds, you see these hurricane winds kind of shifting. This is literally like a minefield, going straight into a minefield. And then you get Alan's kind of plotted course, and you see this kind of this intricate path through and around, and kind of using the outer areas of some of these storm
To propel me.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, like you're essentially gonna shift through these and use them to get down in through the atmosphere. The shuttle essentially hits the cloud layer, and you kind of all sight is gone. You have your path, listening pretty much blindly to whatever Alan put in your lap. But at some point, that doesn't hold completely, and you see you're about to kind of go straight into some lightning storm or such, and you get to turn through that, and you manage to kind of dip down deep enough to kind of just avoid it, kind of go under it, then get up again and kind of lock onto the path again.
And I talk to the different things that I go through. Yeah, I'm not gonna chat with you yet. Oh, hang on there.
And I'm sort of saying, see, standard run, standard, good, great.
Suddenly the clouds in front of you just part, and this installation rig lights up in a thunderous flash in front of you. You just see the platform, you see this sensor rig, these emitters, anti-gravity units, everything that's keeping this afloat. There is a small docking rig as well where you can hook on your shuttle. So you get close to the rig, you're going into, like, you've docked to these installations a lot of times before, so you're trying to kind of use the landing rockets and all of that to get into place.
As soon as we sort of touch down and successfully first hook into it, I'm just gonna, whew, did you see that? And I just fling up my legs up on the side and I open a compartment for a chewing gum and toss it into my mouth.
So the main platform is made out of metal squares, essentially kind of bolted together. It's really rough. And suddenly there's this crashing fist of just wind tearing through the installation, and a bunch of these plates, quite large, like a large part of the platform is actually ripped up. It's just torn up, and these plates essentially fly towards the ship, like straight at you. You get shrapnel and plates and everything hurled towards the shuttle. You can actually, as a sensor operator, see if you can catch this at an early stage.
Yes. Would that be
That's a data gym.
Data gym roll?
for
Yeah,
sensors.
right. Yes, I almost see this happening visually, and then I look to the sensors and I just like calculate. Oh no! And I get 2 6s, and I just call out to Layla like, Layla, attention!
So you hear your colleague, maybe not friend, but colleague, shout at you, and you also see that in the corner of your eye, you see the shrapnel coming at you, and you see kind of the warning displays on the sensor grid as well, and you get to take evasive actions to try to kind of avoid that. You have to essentially push away from the platform to have all of the shrapnel kind of pass by.
Whoa! I throw myself over the instruments.
And you have a -1 on your pilot roll, and that's removing 1 green die.
Right. And then the agility. There's 1 6 there.
That's pretty okay.
Okay, all right. I'll pay.
Nice.
Oh, that's 3 6s. That's better.
Oh, that's good. That's a great success. So, you hear the scraping and everything, and you actually believe that the shuttle is okay. Or some of the smaller debris actually kind of clatters across the surface of the outer surface of the hull, but you manage to avoid the large pieces flying by, and that's just by the hair, essentially. And once it's over, you just pull in the shuttle, and you're docking onto the docking station, and the engines die down a bit.
And I take some sweats off my forehead. Fuck's sake.
Standard run.
All right, ready to get into those exos?
Yes.
Yeah, Harish is already kind of putting her on. Faisal is... She's gonna stay kind of in the shuttle, but help everyone load out things.
I start to load up my gear,
Yeah.
muttering to myself, going down to the storm and totally safe.
One of the things that you realized when you plotted the course is that, yeah, this has suffered quite heavily from the harsh weather. It's like a lot of the gear is already damaged. And you realize that the platform isn't really where it should be. It's dropped almost a kilometer down in the atmosphere. The grav projectors are at lower capacity and can't keep the installation floating. So it has dropped quite heavily, and when you all realize that as a crew, when you're standing in the cargo hold, essentially, it's like we have to try to restabilize it. We have to get it into position again.
I'm calculating how long is that actually going to take to... I mean, there has to be a quicker way of... We don't have time to fully raise a whole entire thing. Is there maybe something quick I can do that does the job, but just quicker?
If you manage to repair the projectors, I mean, you can push them into, allowing them to overcompensate for a bit, and then can gradually push it up. But it's going to be slow, and the only really quick way to get it into place is actually to tow it with a shuttle to really kind of move it into position.
I'll relay this to everyone, basically implying, to be honest, the quickest way we're going to get this done is if we physically tow.
The platform?
Yes.
The whole platform?
Yes.
Can you calibrate the thing as well? The anti-grav thingies?
Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Right. Well, that should be alright, shouldn't it?
I look to everyone else for validation.
Faisal kind of looks around, and everyone is, open eyes. Yeah, yes. That's of course what we have to do. We have to do this quickly and precise. And I couldn't dream of a better pilot to do it.
So the thing is, it's just physically in the wrong place, but it's not really damaged.
Well, it's damaged as well.
But you'll be able to repair that.
Yes, I will. We just need it obviously to be in the right place before I make the repairs, so I start trying to plot out how to do this.
Right?
Right you are, madam, I say at Faisal, and I start, getting ready to tow it. I suppose do I have to get under it and push it up, or?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, you are hooked onto it now, so essentially you can use the shuttle's landing rockets and exhausts to essentially lift it up into position and see if you can get it into place.
Right.
Meanwhile, it's possible to move on you can't go too quickly, and there can be people on the platform and try to do some initial repairs at least.
Alright, I'm going to see if I can balance it and sort of counter out the force winds as well, so it'll be easy for them to work. I don't know what I can do really, but yeah.
Yeah. We can start with the projector repair, actually. I mean, you're pushing yourself out onto the platform, trying to look through the machinery out here.
Yes, I get myself ready, everything's checked over, and I have my survival mask. Does everyone have a survival mask?
Some of them have exos, which means they have breathers and everything in the exos.
Oh, right. I just have an environment suit.
Yes, I think you have something really simple as well, right?
I've got a survival mask, that's all biomonitor.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, is that just a scanner sort of thing? Bioscanner?
Yes.
Doesn't have anything to do with this then.
Well, in that case, I get myself as ready as possible and brace myself to go out.
Yes. Seem to be that the reactor is down and needs to be restarted. It's kind of on the other side of the platform, and then there is the actual anti-grav projector repair to try, or not the anti-grav actually, but fix the projectors that are the ones that are changing the electromagnetic fields of the planet. So these seem to have, you can get readouts to the tabula since you're so close, and you can see that there are essentially been fuses blown on these. There are parts that need to be replaced on the projectors.
Yes, well then I shall try and use Gearhead to do my best to fix this as quickly and efficiently as possible. I take a deep breath. After all, this is easy. Repairing things is easy. Repairing things is good.
You want to use it on the projectors or on the generator? Projector X.
Which one would be logical to work with?
Yeah, no, it's probably on the projector because that's parts being changed.
Yes.
So the winds are really strong. You're moving out. You're trying to hold on to the kind of railing of this. You all have kind of a hook. You secure yourself to the shuttle. you walk out, and you're desperately trying to kind of push your way across the partly broken platform to the projectors. You need to roll for force to just see if you can stay up.
I have a moment where I just feel this the strength of the storm, and I'm just suddenly filled with unconfidence because I'm not used to having to hold on to anything. But I know I got 3 tries actually.
Oh my.
And I just sort of cling on for dear life and very slowly just start 1, 2, holding onto the rail and moving myself along, kind of literally saying 1, 2 to myself as I go along.
Harish is kind of a hard worker as well. She's taking some of the stuff that you need, some of the spare parts and things like that. And she's coming kind of right behind you, also walking out towards the installation.
She's really good with the EXO, isn't she?
She is really good at the EXO. So you will actually get to roll for her. One of you, I guess Layla could roll for her. And she has strength 5 and force 3, so that's 8 dice. And then she gets +2 to her EXO. So she's like, she's carrying some of the stuff.
Oh, 3 6s.
She is...
No, 4.
Yeah. That's excellent. Great success. So, you've done this before, and you start to notice the perk of that. You don't really have to talk that much about how you do these things. It's you just fall into protocol essentially. She follows you out, carrying the spare parts for you.
I imagine I, for a moment, just look and probably notice how while I'm clambering along very slowly, she passes by, totally confident.
Yeah, she's essentially just walking straight out onto the platform, leaning into the storm a little bit, but yeah. She has a pretty big EXO. She runs a reinforced EXO shell, so it's a big, heavy load lifter kind of thing. You both get to the array of these projectors and start looking through them. They seem pretty bad, beat up. There's a bunch of these fried boards and everything in there. And so you had Gearhead, and what does that do?
That is, with successful technology test, I can repair an item or jury rig or one-time use contraption for one specific task. The number of 6s determines the gear bonus of the item. So I suppose in this case, it's just a technology test to see if I repair it or not.
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. Repair an item, yes. You get to roll that, and you should get -2 from this if it would have been a normal technology roll, according to this, but since you're actually doing it with Gearhead, I'm thinking you get it with just a straight up technology roll instead. That's kind of the bonus you get from using
Yes, I mean, I tense up a little, but I just repeat by rote. I know how to do this. This is easy for me. And
okay, yes.
1 6. Although, you know what? It's a bit of a tense situation, and I just mutter a little prayer to myself that I just need this to be fixed now. I don't have time for this to be fixed slowly. 2 successes.
2 successes is really well, that's good. The 2 failures, so I'm gonna use one of those to spend darkness points. And actually gonna burn 3, I think, on this. This is a pretty big one, I think. So everything is going really well. You're using some of the spare parts that Harish brought out. You get the gravity projectors, or the electromagnetic projectors working. But suddenly there is this wind again, similar to the one when you were landing. It's crashing into the platform, and the platform shakes along with the kind of ship. You're trying to stabilize it as you're towing this thing through the atmosphere. Harish falls to the ground. She tumbles over the platform and is actually only kind of saved by the fact that she's secured to the shuttle. But what happens is that you lose the remaining spare parts that you brought out. This huge crate of spare parts. It just topples over, it slides across the platform, and then it just disappears in the segment where the railing was gone because of the kind of dripped surfaces. It just crashes through and tumbles down into the yellow, fierce atmosphere of Xene and disappears in the clouds.
I just let out a sharp no! And almost futilely try to reach for the tools that I already are long gone.
Yeah, it's like throwing out your arm after them, essentially. I'm gonna just have you set a mark on stress. So your mind points go down.
Yes, and I just sort of say, by the icons, and I just sort of, again, hold down tight to where I am, and I'm just stressing over now, how can we do this without those parts? I'm sure I know how to do it without those parts, but I needed those parts.
Towing, meanwhile. As this is happening, as people are repairing stuff out on the platform, the shuttle pilot, Layla, you are trying to kind of push this installation into position again. You have the coordinates that you need to reach, and you require a pilot roll to kind of push that into position. And actually I would say that you have -2 because you have people walking around on the platform as well. I think to kind of just try to keep them safe.
Yeah, so then I'll just have 2 agility and 3 pilot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have 1 success. It's a really rocky ride. So you're trying to push this up. Maybe that's actually the reason why you hit like another hit from the winds. That's the one that's pushing Harish to the ground and having the kind of the segments toppling over. But you manage to stabilize it, and you keep pulling it up, and you get to a point outside. Alam, you fix the projectors up to they should function now. They should, and you get to, on your way back, you reboot the reactor as well, so you get kind of all the anti-grav stuff is running. You're essentially starting to pack your way into the shuttle again on this installation. When it goes online, when the reactor goes online and everything, you start getting readouts again from the, you're so close, you can actually get the readouts from the sensor array now, the ones that were blocked up to the station. And that's probably what Faisal and Yorick are doing. They're kind of looking at these readouts inside of the shuttle as you two are working, or you 3 with Harish. And it seems like the pattern has changed quite a lot. For the good, right? It's almost, it seems like this quadrant is actually almost at the desired ISAR pattern. It's pretty spot on, and maybe it's only a few hours tops, maybe even less away from getting to that point. So you get into position, you stop the thrusters on the ship, you kind of stabilize it, the anti-grav projectors kind of stabilize everything. You secure it and kind of maintain, checking it. Yeah, this should actually work. This should actually work. Easy. That's like that was the big one. That was the the hardware failure, kind of the broken platform, the other one.
Yes.
That's just a reboot thing, everything is fine.
The cost of those parts lost is not good, but I mean, we'll have to just do without them, I suppose. It's fine.
We've got more parts back at the main station. That should be all good, well done. Let's get out of here now.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
As you, Layla, kind of stop all the thrusters and everything and stabilize, you're leaning back in your chair. Now you see your hands, they're really shaking, really shaking, and you're cramping almost, and kind of trying to kind of flex your fingers and kind of just trying to breathe again. It's almost this, like you don't realize that you held your breath for the almost last minute of the flight.
Yeah.
And in doing that, when you relax back, you feel something. You feel like a hand reaching into your brain almost. There is this sense of someone grasping, kind of taking hold of you. And you just feel this chill, kind of this, this shiver throughout your entire body, and your hands, you can't stop them. They just keep shaking and they keep cramping up, and you sit there and you bite down on whatever you're kind of keeping in your mouth at the moment. If it's a licorice stick or if it's whatever it is, it's like it's actually cracking under the pressure, and your mouth starts to foam up. You get this spasmic kind of almost collapsing down onto the ground.
And I cough a bit.
And your implants start actually discharging. You can't control them anymore. You hold out your hands and they're kind of all crumbled up, and they start like...
I try to control them and hold it back. It's like, try to breathe, but then something keeps coming out of my mouth.
You lose 1 health and 2 mind points.
Do I notice this as I look over from the sensors?
Yeah, you hear something from the cockpit. You see that Faisal and Yorick are kind of watching the pattern and all that, and Harish is kind of, getting back inside. She's looking at you, and I'm really sorry about the spare parts. I don't know what happened.
I look a little distracted as I look to the cockpit, and I feel like I was about to say something, but then Harish draws my attention. It's fine. The corporation doesn't care about costs, really, does it? To them, a whole family's worth of tools is nothing. I laugh a little. It's a very, not really humorous laugh at all.
Hollow and yeah. Layla, you're at the point where you can't really open your mouth. You're trying to kind of say something through your teeth. And now you feel that hand inside of you. It's almost like it's trying to take hold of your spine and your nervous system. There is something going on, and you don't feel like you are in control over your own arms and legs.
I try to, through my gritted teeth, shout for help. Help!
Here's something in the cockpit.
Layla, what's wrong? Actually, if there was something wrong with someone, who on the crew would be the most qualified?
You mean medic-wise?
Yes.
Harish has medicurgy?
I sort of...
Do you have any of you?
I do not.
I do not.
Then it's only Harish that has it.
Yeah. I kind of stand up a little and I go, Layla, and I turn and look at Harish and give her a worried look.
What's going on?
I don't know. Do you want to...
Yeah, she comes... Yeah, she head on towards the cockpit with you.
I sit there and I cramp up, and you see these small sparks flying from my palms, and foam is coming from my mouth. I can't open my mouth. It's like I'm having problem breathing, and I'm shaking, and I can't even move my legs.
Harish, what's going on?
Does she... She has no... There's no record of this. Okay. She moves up to you, and she tries to kind of quickly just calm you and examine you, and she's gonna do a medicurgy roll to try to snap you out of this.
I could do that. How many dice should I roll?
So it's wits 3, and it's medicurgy 2. So 2 black. So she's not great. She has a med kit, however. I wonder if she will try to kind of push some soothing drug or something like that into your bloodstream. Yeah, you can get a +2 bonus. Yeah.
1 success.
So it's not a failure, at least. However, she doesn't really count on your kind of involuntary implant discharges. So you actually get to roll, Layla, a melee combat attack involuntarily against Harish.
I sort of detect them there, trying to do something to me, but I swing up my arms and try to control myself.
No successes. You discharge them, but you actually, since you're trying to get control over your hands and arms, you manage to kind of push them out from your body and kind of discharge them out into kind of the nearby co-pilot's seat and kind of a segment of the wall instead. So like, and trying to kind of just hold your arms back, and you feel now that there is something of a whisper almost in your mind. There is like a note, several notes actually. Let go.
And how does that make me feel?
You feel... it's essentially like you're trying to stay awake when you're really, really tired. Like you're trying to push your limits, but like the body will just like try so desperately to just shut down.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to resist this.
Harish looks at you, Alam, is like, we need something. Do we have any drugs? Like the medkit doesn't have anything. Like it doesn't have anything.
Right. Okay.
Is there anything we can? And you kind of hear this through a fog, Layla.
I sort of step away from the scanner and I just go to Yorick, Paisal, and I'm like, Paisal, something's wrong with our pilot. I don't know how to deal with this. It's not my expertise. Yorick, do you know anything?
What with Layla? What's going on? Why? What?
I don't know. Something's happened. Maybe
she's running into the cockpit and she's like, Layla, icons, bless her. What's this? No, okay. She has something. She has. I know it. She has this. She takes something. There's something she needs. This is probably that.
I have a moment of trying to remember because I've gone on these flights with her quite a lot. And sometimes she goes to a little part of the shuttle, doesn't she, and hides something, or like she's always doing something in one of the corners. Do I remember where it is?
Close to where I discharged my hand on the side, there is a small compartment. I'm trying.
I look and I just think the compartment, and I just go and I just start opening all the...
Yeah, like you pushing away her arm, and I managed to kind of rip that compartment open and kind of taped inside underneath the kind of, in the roof of the compartment. There is almost like a small bottle, right? It's something you can essentially just sniff or, pour into a drink or something like that.
Well, I bite my lip a little, take it out, and I just show it to Harish. I don't think I even know what it is, but I just go, maybe this will help.
Okay, she looks at it and she's like, she has camera. Yeah, this could actually work. This is really good. Okay. So let's see. How much was the dosage? She just kind of pours all of it into you. You just feel this warmth going through your body, and that whisper, that song at the edge of your hearing, it doesn't disappear, but it kind of get pushed out, and you feel this kind of sense of lust and just excitement kind of going into you, and you start to get less drowsy and get back to not your usual self, but your usual kind of drugged self. But you also lose 2 mind points doing that. So what are you at now?
2.
Nice. And you get to a point where you actually manage to open your mouth a little bit and speak.
Thanks. And I try to get control of my arms.
Yeah, you can kind of move them. They're still kind of spasmic, and like you try to kind of bend. You hurt Allah across your arms and legs.
Because it's been such a...
Yeah, you've been cleansing up. Yeah, exactly.
Do I think that voice, could that be a withdrawal thing, or is that something that's very different?
It felt like someone else was in your body almost. This weirdest feeling.
And this would not?
No, you haven't felt it before. This was something new.
I frown to myself as I go back to the sensor. I mutter under my breath of all the times to get a withdrawal. Honestly.
There's something here. There's something here.
Wonderful. We don't have time for something here.
What do you mean something
Lila-
here? Harish looks at you.
I felt something in my head, in my spine. Something reaching.
What? No, that doesn't. What are you talking about? No, just to relax now. Take it easy.
I heard a voice.
Lean back.
I heard a voice.
Faisal, do we need to fly to the other relay? I think it was a software problem now. Maybe we can now return to the station, and we're done here, right? I think I can fix the next one from there.
From the station.
Yes.
But we couldn't fix it from the station. The disturbances, or like, we have to do a manual reboot. But you also see that she kind of is looking at Layla. It's like, no, we have to do the reboot. We have to fix it, but we have to be quick about it. Are you okay? Can you fly?
Can I?
You feel the tinge of iron in your mouth. You can feel kind of the pain from bite marks that you have on your lip. You bit down.
I'm fine. I'm a Sinifian.
Yorick also enters the cockpit. You're kind of all standing here now. What's going on? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What's this? What's this I heard about something? And Faisal just goes like, don't listen. No, don't listen. Now we go to the next. We go to the quadrant. We go to quadrant 3 now. Just prepare, please, Layla. Get your stuff together. Like,
I am usually quite chatty, but for once I'm not saying anything, or I just start flicking some switches. Prepare to detach.
I'm already charting the sensor route. I'm already using the sensor to chart a route.
yeah, you're calculating that. Yorick he's staying a little bit for a while. Like Harish and Faisal leave to kind of strap in out in the cargo area. He is staying for a little bit and just put a hand on your shoulder, as he usually does. Not so much with you probably in normal cases, but he does it this time. And he's. What did it feel like? How did it feel?
Okay.
Was it the icons? Did you feel something?
I felt like something reaching, something telling me to let go.
Let go? How do you mean
Was
let
it
go?
something trying to reach inside of me and, I don't know, control me?
You know we have to do this, right? We have to do this. We can't let. I mean, did you see Faisal? She seems really.
Of course, I know we have to do this.
We could get to a point where we have to. They might want to abort the mission. We have to do this.
Yes, I know. We're gonna do it. I'm fine. We'll be fine. We'll just fix this software thing. It's a small thing, right? And we'll be out of here.
Yeah. Exactly. We just have to, get the software reboot, and that shouldn't be a big thing. I mean, we were, quite unlucky with how that turned out. But I mean, we should be able to fix that, and we should be able to just get the sensor data we need. Verify the pattern and go back home. Yes.
I wipe the sweat from my forehead and also a bit of blood from the side of my mouth, and I really start trying to focus on the flight now, and I try to shut out other stuff.
He is kind of squeezing your shoulder a little bit, getting ready to leave. He's starting to turn, and he's like his last whisper to you is, but just remember, like, we have to be strong. Like not everyone in this team will be strong about this. We have to be strong. When we shared that moment together in prayer, I felt something that you understand what we have to do. We have to bleed for the icons. We have to allow ourselves to be sacrificed for them in order for them to hear our prayers. You see that, right?
I almost felt this guiding hand as we came down with the landing.
Exactly, that's the icons. They see you. They've blessed you. They've touched you.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do this. Excellent. And he let go of his kind of the squeeze on the shoulder, and he returns out to the cargo hold to kind of strap up.
I'm just checking over the sensor data
Yeah.
again, and I'm just eager to get this done now. I just don't want to be here anymore. Don't want to be here anymore. Can we go? Can we go? I call out, you should have the data, Layla. Let's go.
I see it.
You have a new plot. You have a new course plotted for the Quadrant 3 installation.
Yeah. Yeah, good. I disconnect from the platform and I start the route.
Yeah. You fly through the dense clouds. You shift course a little bit to bypass some of the most extreme kind of electrical discharges. You see as you move towards Quadrant 3, you both see this actually. It's like you start to pick up some sensory data from the weather stations around this area, and you see that there seems to be a lot of lightning clouds kind of surrounding Quadrant 3. It's quite dense. The storm, the actual winds are less. It's still like extremely high, but it's less, and the whole thing here is the whole electrical discharges.
Do you think the electric discharges were the ones disturbing the software?
Probably. Doesn't really matter what caused it. We just need to solve it. So let's pick up the pace. We'll be fine.
And as you say that, the GM looks through his bowl of darkness points. Here, you get 3 back. You fly towards the next quadrant, and there is this crackling build-up, and right before it's ready to strike, Alam, you notice this build-up of energy, and it's like, this is not good. You know, you can feel that this is gonna turn really bad really quickly. You feel dread in your...
Do we have to maybe backtrack for a moment? Let it...
And as you say that, and you haven't quite caught on what Alan is trying to say there, suddenly the clouds around you strike crippling blow straight, like there's electrocution going straight into the shuttle, this kind of harsh crack, and it resonates into the hull and the interior of the shuttle. You can see a bunch of warning messages kind of going up on the screen, and particles from the storm outside, this debris and stuff that's flying through the atmosphere, they get pulled to the shuttle, they get pulled into the thrusters, and the ship just starts twisting. You like the thrusters go offline, and you have to kind of try to start them up again, and there is a bunch of systems in the hull that get hit. And we're gonna do it as an attack on the shuttle itself. And I'm thinking that, Craig, you get to roll.
Yes, as I sort of just panic at the sensor screen and yelp out loud as the shuttle shakes with this electrical discharge. What do I roll?
You roll 6 dice. Doesn't matter which ones.
Okay, 6 dice.
Only 6. No 6s?
No, 1, 1.
Reroll.
How many?
All of them.
And one shudder comes over, and I take in a breath as nothing happens for a moment, and then again another shudder of electricity.
This is better. This I like.
2 6s.
2 6s is not enough for a critical, so the ship gets hit with 2 points of damage. The armor might be able to take it, so Layla can roll armor for the ship. That's 4 dice. And every 6 you get will remove 1 from the damage.
There's none.
Nothing.
No.
So, 2 points of damage. The ship has 4. Just so you know. It's now down to 2.
And I try to brace it as the ship shakes.
Yeah.
Hope.
You fall out of the flight plan, and then you kind of push back, realign again, and you manage to keep the shuttle flying.
I try to run a diagnostics on the thrusters and make sure that no debris is stuck in there.
Some of the landing thrusters look a little bit broken actually, but that's for landing on ground. not docking. So you should be fine in general. But yeah, I think at some point you're probably kind of pushing all thrusters to push out so you can kind of clear them from any debris that has been pulled into them.
I move away from the sensors after all the course has been plotted, and I just try, is there anything I can at least just fix a little? That there must be something interior that I could at least like run a power conduit or weld something shut. I have my cutting torch or my advanced tools. Is there anything I can do to assist just a little?
With flying or with just jets?
With the repairs to the vessel.
It's probably going to be tough from the inside. I mean, it's hull damage. That's stuff you're gonna you have to get outside to kind of fix that up.
Yes, I pretty much just run back and forth a little, look out of the
It's
viewing
like
shuttles, and I'm just
something.
like,
Sit down. We're fine, Alam. Sit down.
fine. Get us there. Can we just get there now, please? That'd be brilliant. Thank you.
I'm trying to focus, but my mind is really hazy. I try to steer to the path and the plotted course.
You push through the clouds and you get to the installation of quadrant 3. So the platform is in much better shape than the previous one that you visited. It seems to be in the right position. The only thing is that it doesn't send any data and it doesn't seem to be kind of online.
I get ready to get out of the shuttle as soon as we're docked, and I just say, right, I should be able to do this by myself. I'll just go out, I'll just reboot it. It's simple.
You can actually notice that when you get closer, you find that you can get a remote connection. Like you're close enough to get a remote connection to the software.
I breathe a very audible sigh of relief that is still, the remote connection is still fixed. Like, good. Never mind, I'm not going out there. Let's just do it from here. And I start to bring up the systems I need to try and, from the shuttle, reactivate the station.
Cool.
Not trying to keep just a safe distance from it.
Yeah. You're running a data gen essentially to do the reboot.
Yes.
It's a straight up roll. You're trying to keep distance and essentially kind of float, like keep position, keep it steady, as Alam is doing her checks.
And as I'm doing my checks, the entire vessel just sort of shakes a little. And once again, I just say, oh my deck hand, please give us your favor this day.
Somewhere, icons smile. Yes, there's a little success there. So there is a reboot going on, but it's slow. It's going through the protocols, and you have to manually kind of get it through some of the blocks. That was the reason for it not being able to reboot before. So you're sitting there doing that. Layla, you're trying to hold position, and then you all hear Harish out in the cargo hold. And you hear Yorick and Faisal shouting as well. Harish, what's going on? Why? What? And you hear kind of a similar sound from the cargo hold. You can hear Faisal shout to Layla. Layla, what? Alam, she's cramping. What did you do? What did you do the last time? What did you do the last time?
We used your stuff. Have you got any more?
Canberra? It's back on the space flat. I mean, it's on the station.
Wait. I don't have any medical knowledge. I'm trying to think of why did it... What do your drugs do? They give you a high, don't they? They distract you or something. Maybe maybe try like a physical sensation. Maybe hit her or something. I don't know.
Hit her? And you hear Yorick and Faisal seem to be arguing about kind of what approach they should have on this. And meanwhile, Harish is going up. Get out! Get out! And now you just hear there's a silence for a moment, and then Faisal is standing in the doorway to the cockpit. What do we do? She doesn't breathe anymore. She doesn't breathe.
What? I don't know. I don't do people. I don't do people. I do machines.
Can everyone just calm the fuck down? We're trying to finish this. You focus on that back there. Harish, you're the medic.
Harish is down.
Damn it! We're trying to get this. How long have we got left on the diagnostics?
How long's left?
20 minutes or so. It's a slow reboot.
It's 20 minutes left on the reboot. It's your call, Paisal. Do we move out?
The reboot, it's gonna work, right? It's gonna work.
Of course it's going to work. We don't need to be here. Hang on, we don't need to be here anymore, do we? I've started the reboot. It should just do it, shouldn't it? I think to myself.
Well, you think to yourself, and yeah, it should, unless, something goes wrong. If all is well, this echoes kind of a day ago when you felt like, as long as nothing goes wrong, you should be fine.
I find myself for a moment really thinking if any of this is worth it. This could be her life on the line. Richard's life could be on the line. And you know what, this is all internal thought, I don't really care if the consortium gets what it wants. If anything, the consortium gets its way far too much. I took this job just for some money. Really,
Faisal breaks in and she's like, we should abandon. We should get back. Like first you, Layla, and now Harish. We should just the reboot should work, right? We should leave. We should leave.
We should leave.
I start the thrusters and I don't say anything because I'm so drained. I can't even break into the dialogue. I'm not going to break into the decision making. I just need to get. We do something.
Yeah, you start
Yeah.
So you're not hanging anymore. You're kind of starting to kind of push a little bit up from the platform and just trying to get into a better position. You also you hear this. The whisper is back again, and it's kind of pushing in from all sides. And you can feel that your view is kind of pushing in. You see kind of dark, kind of pushing tunnel vision forming.
Gotta get back. Gotta get back up. I try to increase the backwards thrust to get us away from the planet. I think we need to get away from the planet.
And you hear Yorick shouting from the cargo hold. It's like we can't leave. We have to fix the final platform.
We fixed it. It's fine, Yorick. We have to go. And I'm sorry, but
it's not. We have to have the data. We have to have all of the data. We can't just leave, can we? This is important. We worked for this for so long.
It's not worth potentially us all dying. It's not worth that. It's not. It's not, Yorick. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. And I just try and assist Layla with putting the sensor data in, and I see you struggling a little, and I just try to assist in some way.
You're trying to kind of push the shuttle up, then.
Yeah, to get away from the planet.
So you're pushing up through the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And as this is happening, I just start praying very vehemently to the deckhand, please just reboot. It will be reboot, please.
Yorick has moved up to the entrance to the cockpit, and it's like, no, please, Layla. We talked about this. We can't leave. We have to get all of this ready. We have to.
You
succeed.
heard what the technician said. It's getting back up.
It's going to work, Yorick, anyway. We don't need to stay here any longer. It will be fine. I know because I did it, right? I know machines. I don't know people, but people, we need to get people back. Machine's fine.
But if I
trust in the icons, do you?
Yes, I understand. Yes.
And I am shivering quite a bit because I'm really not used to actually shouting at people. This is a really bad day.
No. He steps back into the cargo hold and he calms down. You can see he's not happy about it. He's just kind of looking down into the ground, moving in. Faisal is still standing kind of right by the cockpit and she's like looking worried at Harish, and it's like, but she's not gonna make it until it's not gonna be enough. We can't get to the station fast enough. She isn't breathing.
Can you give her first aid? I've got this. Alarm, go give her first aid.
I don't know first aid.
You know the basics.
No, I don't. I've never had to do anything like this in my life. If anything, don't you know something? You were in the war or something. You're a fighter. I'm looking at you with disbelief that you didn't let anything like that in the military at all.
Maybe we can. Does anyone have a breather? Maybe she just needs more oxygen. Maybe we can.
I have my survival mask. It might help.
Survival mask? Yes. And she grabs it from you and she runs back to Harish, lying on the floor.
How are the whispers now?
Quite severe, actually. And you start to feel the shakes again, and you can feel kind of your joints kind of clamping up. And you're getting a problem. Like you have to go to verbal command to the computer because you actually have a hard time using the controls. And this is something that you see, Alan, as well. You see how Layla is kind of.
Don't know what to do. I'm just sort of pacing back and forth. I need something technical. I need something technical that I can work with. I don't do people.
I'm fine. Computer, take us up backwards. We need to get back towards the station.
You feel the hand reaching into your brain again, and you kind of claws its way down towards your spine again.
Can I attempt to get communication to the station?
You can try, yes, definitely.
I will go and try and use the communication systems to just relay emergency SOS, requesting immediate assistance as soon as possible.
Maybe you can actually, I mean, you're close to the installations, so you can probably pipe your emergency message into the grid of the installations and then kind of make all of them send an emergency beacon up towards the station.
Yes, I do that.
Yes, that's a data gym.
I start to say a quiet prayer to the traveller, trying to ask for his help.
I am just desperately, frantically trying to boost the signal, and to be honest, a part of me is thinking that this is not what you're supposed to use these for. That's not good, and then I go, don't care, and I just do it.
Yeah, so 2 successes. I'm gonna spend 1 like activating a problem for you. That is the social aspect, the fact that you don't like to be in social situations and the noise of other people just gets to you. You just frustrated. You still get the message going. This is like the last thing. You zone out and you get the message through and you think you piped it through the entire grid and you hope kind of you boosted the signal sending it up to the station. But then you hear Layla say something but you don't really hear it, and you hear kind of the shouts and stuff behind you, and it's kind of just fuzzy and zoning out, and you're just listening to your own breath. Sit there in your chair, relaxing, trying to find your place again.
And I just bite down my lip really hard, and I draw some blood. So I'm just focus on the thing. We're fine. The icons preserve us. The icons preserve us.
What Alan doesn't hear then, when she kind of zones out, is the thing that you hear, Layla. You hear Faisal shout from the cargo hold. She's angry and she's frantic. Yorick, no. You don't do that. Don't do that. You hear her coming closer to the cockpit, and she stands in the doorway. She speaks to him, it seems, directly. You can see Layla, how she kind of pulls from a holster under her vest a pretty large Dura knife out of a socket, and she's holding it behind her back as she kind of, Yorick, no. Whatever you've done, it's okay, but no, don't press that.
What are you doing?
Yorick.
And I'm paying no attention because I'm just rocking back and forth.
And she moves into the cargo hold.
Icons preserve us.
Beyond kind of this fussiness that you've created, this fort that you've created for yourself, you can hear it's almost like a song. It's a soothing song coming from the sides, and you feel quite comfortable in that song. Layla, you see Alam just kind of sitting there with a smile actually on her face, kind of rocking slightly back and forth. Right before, she's just tapped in the last command and she's just let go and is holding her hands together, and she's kind of looking up and smiling, praying a bit.
It's all madness now, so I mean, and my sight is narrowing, and her going out with the Jura knife towards Yorick, that's perhaps a bigger problem, but I can't focus on anything more than trying to drive this ship back until I can get some sort of perhaps autopilot or an auto dock. I don't know.
You hear from the cargo hold, I don't care. I don't care. You should have listened to me. And he's saying this to Faisal as she moves closer to him. We have to accept our fates. We are one. We are one with the icons. Our sacrifice will open their eyes. I'm sorry, Faisal, Harish, Alam, Layla, I have to do this. And in that moment, Faisal shouts and she rushes at him. You don't see, you're trying to lean out and kind of try to get something going in the vision. You hear them shouting from the cargo hold. I think the shout actually snaps you out of your mode, Alam. You kind of waking up from this beach moment almost, this moment of serenity, and suddenly there is just shouting in the cargo hold. You see a worried Layla.
I just look panicked and look between Yorick and Layla, just unsure what to do, really.
That's when Faisal takes her chance. She charges him with a knife. So she just tries to sprint straight at him, and I would say that you actually get to do this roll for her.
Who was the roll?
There are two rolls here. One is the actual attack, and the other one is an observation roll from Yorick. So you can choose.
I'll do the attack. You could do the observation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So what do I roll for the attack?
So for the attack, there is strength 3 and melee 2.
2 6s.
That's gonna be 2 points of damage and a crit when that hits. And then it's Yorick, and he has an observation and wits. So wits 4 and observation 2. He gets 2. That's good. So he notices, but he also gets stabbed. She runs the blade into him, and we will actually roll a crit for it to see how bad it is. You can roll 2d6s, one at a time. 40, 43.
I'm just staring, frozen in a way, at this sudden display of violence.
He manages to get his arm in front of himself as she charges him, and I think it's probably because he actually notices what's going on. It's the arm that holds the remote control. She slices into that, and at that moment he pressed the button. And you feel the entire shuttle shake as small explosive detonators are fired off at the main thrusters of the ship. And the whole shuttle rocks back and forth, it loses height. You start to go into a slight spin. And Layla, the main thrusters are gone, you only have the support jets, the kind of the landing rockets to go with. But you could, hook yourself onto the platform, or try to land on top of the small platform somehow, clamp yourself to it.
And the landing thrusters took a hit before as well from the other. Yes. All right. And I shake and I try to hold on to the controls, but at the same time my hands are shaking so much that I'm trying to tell the computer what to do and get a fix on the platform and just make sure we get on it instead of next to it.
I just brace myself. I don't see how I can help this scenario. I just hold on.
Yeah, hold on to something as the shuttle starts shifting back and forth. Pilot them, and you're doing this with damaged jets So reduce 2 from your attribute dice, and then add your pilot skill. It's a success. 1 success.
Let's let's give that one more.
Oh, that's a insanity thing. Yeah. But you get 1 success. So, you tilt the rockets, you manage to kind of push towards the platform. You don't quite hook onto the correct kind of docking rig, but you hook onto the platform. And the clamps go down, and at least one of them manages to lock onto the platform of the installation. It shifts a little bit, tilts, but the gravity projectors are managing to kind of push it up again. And now the tunnel vision thing is really kind of closing in on you. You lose control over your arms, and you start you going back to that clamping, kind of stuck in your chair. You actually start twisting, and you fall down onto the ground in the cockpit, shaking violently, and you only have like a pinprick of your vision still left. And now you hear that kind of whisper just focusing on your brain. It's right there.
I'm thinking, I got us landed. Now I can let whatever happens, and I sort of let go, of control. Just trying to release all tension I can, because I landed. We're fine. I can sleep now.
You hear inside your head, you hear, be calm, be at peace, you can rest now.
And that's what I try to do. I try to breathe, and I try to rest. We're safe.
You drop down onto the ground like fully, and you close your eyes. You can feel kind of a wave, a sensation kind of going through your body. And as your mind is being pulled away from your senses, you hear the voice say to you, rest assured that you shall leave this world as a herald of the new horizon. I will carry your burdens. You are me, and I am the emissary. And you just, what once was Layla, is being pulled away and locked into a body that is now inherited by something else. You can just feel yourself be stuck in darkness inside this shell, and you're shouting out to something that's not listening to you.
I'm just staring at what I assume is Layla just...
She suddenly gets really calm. She actually stops shaking, and in the cargo hold, Faisal has pushed down Yorick on the ground, and she's actually stabbed the knife once more into his gut. And he is kind of gurgling something at her, and she's standing up with like a bloodied hand, the Dura knife. She's looking around, like eyes frantic. She's looking at you, actually, and she sees like Harish body lying kind of still on the ground. Yorick, who is kind of holding his gut and kind of, please help me. And then she looks at you and at Layla, and she shouts out like, no, Layla, what? And she drops the knife on the ground and runs up towards you.
I just look towards the reboot system. How long has it got?
Well, now it's about 15 minutes maybe? 15 minutes? Yeah.
It's only been 2 or 3 minutes. I just remark, I don't think we can fly out of here. I think all we can do is wait.
What do you mean wait? Wait for what? Wait.
I sent a signal.
Signal?
To the station.
Oh, okay. So we're not emergency. Okay. Is she okay? And she points at Layla.
I don't know. I just sort of sit back and sort of just, I don't know. All we can do is wait. We can't go anywhere.
And when you two are standing there with these kind of 3 bodies, Yorick at the corner, bleeding to death slowly. Suddenly there is a sound, a movement, a scraping sound, and Harish sits up. And she's twisting her neck a little bit, and she stands up in front of you two. She looks around as if she's looking at the world for the first time. She's studying you, she's looking at you, and she doesn't recognize you. She just nods a bit, and then she looks at Faisal. She looks up at the roof, to the sides. And she looks back towards Yorick, and you can see he is that kind of the last gurgle, and then he just sighs and is completely still. She turns towards you and Faisal, and she just holds up a hand and says, Wait. It's all going to be fine. Just wait. You can feel that tone, that song kind of pushing in from the sides. And as you also experience the kind of tunnel vision pulling at you and your mind kind of starting to break up, you see how Yorick sits up from the ground. And he rises, and you can see the stab wounds on his arm and on his body, and you see them closing up.
I don't want this to happen. I don't want this. I want the icons to help me. That's what I'm thinking as I just stare. I don't understand what's going on, and I just sort of sit and wait.
Harish looks at you and she goes, "But we are here. We are helping. We will help everyone." And then Layla starts getting up from the ground as well. Xene's yellow clouds, they part as a badly damaged shuttle break out of the atmosphere. On orbital station FS7, Chief Explorator Jarouma had Pelleter waits with anticipation. She got the warning message, but somehow the crew managed to pull it all together, complete the experiment. They're all on their way back. The docking clamps lock the shuttle into place. Airlocks are opening. The lights of the main corridor in your sector flickers as the doors part and 5 tall silhouettes step out of the shuttle in unison. One of them, a technician once known as Alam, raises a hand in greeting. "Friends, we have arrived. We are the answer to your prayers. When the night is closing in, we are the light of peace. We are the emissaries."
You have listened to a special episode of Red Moon Role-Playing, where we play the adventure A Song for Jarouma for Coriolis. A Song for Jarouma was designed by Rickard Antroya, who also was our game master in this episode. Coriolis is published by Free League. The music was created by Alfa Zone and Seybold Sun and used with permission from their label Cryo Chamber. We also used the official Coriolis soundtrack by Stars on a Black Sea. Massive thanks to Scape for allowing us to use their amazing atmosphere and sound effects. Make sure you check them out at www.sirenscape.com. And as always, a big thank you to all supporters. If you enjoy the show and want to encourage our work, head over to Patreon and see if you want to support the show there. We hope you enjoyed this special episode and look forward to meeting again. Thank you for listening.